Whenever the history of women's football is mentioned, one name always stands above the rest. Mia Hamm, a little girl who simply loved chasing a ball, who would grow up to become one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen, and help transform women's football forever. Born in Alabama in 1972, Mia Hamm spent much of her childhood moving from place to place because her father served in the United States Air Force. But wherever life took her, one thing never changed: her love for football. She spent countless hours playing with her brothers, and she never feared competing against older boys. Even at a young age, her speed and skill made her stand out. Then, at just 15 years old, she achieved what seemed impossible. Mia Hamm became the youngest player ever selected for the United States women's national team. Just a few years later, history was waiting. In 1991, the first official FIFA Women's World Cup was held in China. Mia was only 19 years old. The United States entered the tournament determined to prove themselves. Match after match, the team continued to advance, and eventually, they reached the final against Norway. On that historic day, the United States defeated Norway 2-1. For the first time ever, America stood on top of the world, and Mia Hamm became a world champion. But this was only the beginning. Her success helped bring unprecedented attention to women's football. 5 years later, another milestone arrived. At the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, women's football made its Olympic debut. And once again, Mia Hamm helped lead the United States to glory, winning the gold medal in front of their home fans. Yet another dream remained: returning to the top of the world. In 1999, the Women's World Cup came to the United States. Crowds filled stadiums across the country. Women's football was growing like never before. Led by Mia Hamm, the United States reached the final against China. It was one of the most dramatic matches in the history of the sport. After 120 minutes, neither team had scored. Everything would be decided by penalties. One by one, the American players converted their kicks. Then came the decisive moment. Brandi Chastain scored the winning penalty, and the Rose Bowl exploded in celebration. For the second time in her career, Mia Hamm was a world champion. By the time she retired, she had played more than 270 international matches and scored over 150 goals. But numbers alone cannot explain her legacy, because her greatest achievement was inspiring millions of girls around the world to believe that they belonged in football. And that's why, when people talk about the greatest players in history, the name Mia Hamm will always be remembered, not just as a champion, but as the woman who changed the game forever. Thank you for watching, and tell me in the comments, which player or football legend should we cover next? See you in the next story.